who are the top in the world, you can say. Tan Zhongyi is the current women's world championship challenger. Humpy has been the women's world championship challenger in the past. And yes, you were right, James. It was a Jobawa London, and we have reached a position which feels very even right now.
Very even, and it is. Of course, White can push for more here. Humpy chose sort of a sideline here, pushing the a6 and h6 pawns, just prophylaxis against and preventing, basically, is what it is, preventing things or anything from happening on the b5 or g5 squares, because the pawns cover it. But this is sort of French-like, like a French defense, because the bishop on c8 is a very bad piece. So black is going to look to open that up, or at least get that piece to become better by pushing the e-pawn in the center of the board.
Right, and so this one looking very even. The time situation is slightly in Humpy's favor. She has 12 minutes on the clock as compared to Tan Zhongyi's 9 minutes.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out, honestly, what to do next with after this h6 and a6 ideas here. h6 and a6 is a little bit different. It's sort of a sideline where, you know, black has some play, but also white is trying to figure out how to create some attacks here. That's what we want to do in Jobawa London, is just should create things and be creative here. So it's very level, though, to say the least. Maybe we do something like pawn to f4 and f5 at some point.
Right, going now to the next board, James, we have between Alina Kashlinskaya and Dronawali Harika.
Whoa.
Kashlinskaya is pushing her pawns forward.
Push him!
And bringing the rook up. She's looking very confident there. But
looking vicious.
What's the position like? It looks as if black has very nice control here, James.
Black does have some nice control, and white is very aggressive with the move rook to g3, attacking the queen.
Oh, and it's a problem here that could end in a checkmate.
Question is, what does black play right now?
Well, black has to be careful here. Although the engine prefers black's position, we see the win probability meter. It shows 54% for Harika, 46% for Kashlinskaya. This match is really close. Because if you look, we have two draws on board 1 and 3.
Correct.
Nodirbek is slightly better against Vidit. So small edge to PBG Alaskan Knights there. Tan Zhongyi, Humpy is equal. Harika is slightly better. So maybe their Mumba Masters have some chances. And then Raunak Sadhwani and Lihal Sareen is also roundabout even.
Okay.
So James, not much to choose between these two teams.
Yeah, this one is definitely a swing game here, as this one could be huge. It's, in fact, it will be for the standings here. Rook g3 is a real threat here. Real threat, Rook g3. And, we got some action.
Right, over here we are seeing that Nodirbek actually has picked up the knight with it, takes it back. Is Nodirbek simplifying this, or is his advantage growing? You can see him nodding his head. Nodirbek nodding his head.
With the Hikaru nod, of course, there. When Hikaru starts bopping and nodding his head, you are in a bad place. And, of course, that could be kind of the same here. When you're feeling very confident here, just letting the emotions flow sometimes. And this definitely looks great for white, as I have the open C file. I can bring the rook down to the C file, and then it really kind of sacrifice this E pawn on E4, because it is hanging temporarily, as I'm able to maybe double my rooks on the 7th rank, and that could be problematic.
Ooh, that's a very interesting suggestion here by James. You put your rook in, and when he takes, you take, and then the other rook joins in, and this could be massive.
Oh, this could be very massive here, in fact. And then you have to defend. We bring the knight in, and this could be bad. This could be bad. It could lead to something worse than what it actually is.
But you can see there, Vidit had defended a very tough position against Arjun today, and he's ready to defend another one here against Nodirbek. But he does not give up the pawn. He brings his knight back, James. He's going to bolster it with the pawn coming forward.
In fact, a worse enemy for a bishop sometimes is the pawns. In fact, they say it's biting on granite, is what they say in the books, in the chess books, when you play a move like pawn f3, to make sure that bishop on b7 is hitting a brick wall of pawns.
Right. So this one still quite better, but you can see the win probability 59% for Nodirbek, 41% for Vidit.
Wow, 59%. I mean, not too bad. In fact, it does look better for white, though, clearly just white having better pieces.
And there we go now to the prodigy board between Nihal Sarin and Raunak Sadhwani. The last move that was played here by Raunak, slightly not the best. He plonked his knight into the center of the board, James.
Said it's not a good move there, in fact.
It's not a good idea.
The question is, why not?
Well, look at this.
Good.
Look at this tactic, James. This is time for tactics now.
Tactics time?
Yes, so you take here, you take the knight, he must take with the rook, and it is time for our viewers also to think and yourself.
I see it.
You see it?
Oh my goodness, that is ridiculous. Whoa, that is insane.
It's an insane move to bring your rook right down here. Boom.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just hard to spot in these time controls here. Of course, maybe in classical games, but I mean, if anyone can spot it, it is Nihal when it comes to these tactics. In fact, a few nights ago when we were playing chess with Nihal, and he was rattling off some lines, and it was just ridiculous, the calculations. So he can, is very capable of spotting this, but it's first knowing that it is there. Let's see if he's able to spot it.
Well, he has now 7 minutes, 27 seconds. And the problem here is if you start thinking for too long, you might find the move, but you won't be left with enough time. That's the problem with this time control.
That is the problem. As we've seen in the last game, in the last match there, man, that was a crazy match there, especially even with Prag and Wei Yi having the queen and even being able to maybe try to convert there with much more time. But he flagged, and on that board, one there with Magnus and Fallujah. Magnus having a queen and a bishop loses to a king and a knight on time.
Right, exactly. And there you can see Nihal Sarin looking not at the board. Remember, guys, these chess players have the board in their head. They don't even need to look at the chessboard. They can even calculate it by looking at some ceiling.
And here we go, knight takes d4, and here we go, rook takes d4, and he finds it, rook takes c7, hitting with the move. Nihal Sarin, oh my goodness.
Loving it. Nihal Sarin's double exclamation move is on the board, James. Nihal in such hot form.
And when you see, you can just see the eye roll there kind of from Raunak, and you can just tell from the emotions. If you see his face there, he's just annoyed, head shake slightly. You try not to show your emotions as a chess player there, but I mean, it's already bad here for Raunak.
Exactly. Now, after this move, Raunak has a very tough decision to make, because if he chops the queen here, I take your queen, you take my rook, I take it back, and you are a pawn down here. And this can be a very difficult endgame to defend. So Nihal Sarin making a very calculated decision here, showing why he's such a big asset to the team of PBG Alaskan Knights.
And you can just see from Raunak, he's just like, come on, man. Like, come on. You just had to hit me with the tactics again, bro. Like, that's exactly what's going through his head here. With very strong stuff here from Nihal. He's in great form, excellent form here for the PBG Alaska Knights.
Yeah, he's thinking now, and as Raunak starts to think for this move, we have some big action happening on another board. We have board number 5, Harika, who was better, James, as we saw.
Right.
Suddenly, things have turned around massively here in this game.
Listen, I knew that Rook G3 idea was very, very vicious. I don't know what the engine was wanting from Black here, but Rook G3 was a very, very, very nasty threat. And it's on the board now. And here we go. D7. Look at the pawns, the rook. I mean, all the pieces are working together here. This is what you want in great chess or in any chess game you play. Your pieces need to work together here. Oh, my goodness. And now there's a queen takes f6?
Oh, my God. But no, maybe that's a problem, right, James? If you take here, I'm going to sacrifice my queen.
Queen takes?
Deflecting your rook and then take this back.
Wait, is there a weird idea of king to f1? Nope, that's bishop b5 check. So, wow. Weirdly enough, the engine doesn't move too much. That's kind of crazy here. Queen takes c3, though, is a nasty move. We wanted queen takes g3.
But she goes, she goes and lets Harika back in the game. This is a mistake.
Question mark, wow.
Because here, she could have done something else. The good move here was maybe putting the knight right into the center of the board.
That's difficult.
Or giving a check. But instead, she went here, and now Harika needs to bring her queen back. She's back. So for the upgrade Mumba Masters, that's a big relief.
She plays it. Queen e5. Trade them
finds
off.
it.
Get those off the board, she says. Get the queens off the board.
Oh my God. This match, which was actually looking really firmly in the PBG Alaskan Knights' favor if Kashlinskaya had a winning position, is now once again wide open. Because now, queen
What do you do?
here, and this pawn, which was looking like a strength, James,
Is now
could
a
become
weakness.
Yes, could become a huge weakness.
That's a problem. That is a problem. We were trying to find maybe some fancy checks or something, but it just says equal. This is hard, and the reason being is because you do have that weakness on d7. It could be lost soon.
And we are now going to the second board between Vidit Gujarati here and Nodirbek. You can see Vidit down to 1 minute 40 seconds. He has been struggling with his time management in this tournament, but this time it's not just time. His position also is in big trouble. Look at that knight firmly entrenched on that square.
Oh, in fact, that knight is called an octopus, is what they call it in reassessor chess, I think, from Jeremy Silman. This is a very annoying piece, as this knight has many tentacles here as he's drawing out on the board here. This is very, very annoying. Look at this knight. It's just doing everything that the bishop cannot.
And you know, this king is all ready to enter the position. Vidit is in big trouble, and our probability meter shows it 28% chance only for him, 72% for Nodirbek. This is very good news for the PBG Alaskan Knights.
Pretty gross here. I can't really move my rook. I have what, one or two squares? Rook a7 and rook to e7. Only kind of moves here. h4 just restricting all counterplay. What a guy.
Further space, James. Pawn push coming in.
Very practical.
Rook moved away, and now Vidit has 1 minute 28 seconds only.
Question is, will he take on a b5? But that will allow rook to b7, which gives some chances back.
Yeah, if you are greedy and you take this pawn, you are absolutely right. Either rook here or rook here, and then you lose this pawn, and that wouldn't be great. You keep control here in this position and maybe try to just push your pawn forward. But yeah, Vidit may be able to hold this.
Very possible. He actually was able to do the same thing with the Arjun game earlier. Actually, that game was very wild. Arjun had an advantage somewhere in there and Vidit was able to almost win the game, in fact, but time being an issue.
Right, look at Nodirbek's focus there. He has 6 minutes on the clock, and he's just somehow trying in some way to figure a way out to put maximum pressure on Vidit.
And look at the piece twirl there. I'm telling you, when you start twirling the piece, it's just a chess player thing. When you start twirling that piece there, they are usually locked in on the calculations there. And of course, it just kind of calms your nerves, especially no matter what you're doing there. That piece twirling is something you should have in your chess arsenal.
Yeah, I never was able to learn it so well, James. What about you?
Oh, definitely. I twirl all the time. In fact, yeah, I even keep pawns extra in my pocket just to have them to twirl when I'm playing in tournaments.
The position is now roundabout even. The last move was not a great one by Nodirbek, but with its time, it's down to 1 minute 16 seconds. He did escape against Arjun, but I don't think Nodirbek will, forgive Vidit for taking so much time. He moves his rook in.
Wow, is he able? Is there? What I'm trying to do here is play a pawn h5.
Oh, he goes
g4.
And he wants to push further and create a mating net against this king.
That's exactly right, yes. With pawn to h5, move my rook up 1 to c7 and knight f6 for checkmate.
Oh, the king goes back.
Wait, I can just... Wow, what a game.
Yeah, that
king
was such
G8.
a big... the problem was if you took this pawn, there was a fork. A nasty fork because there is a pin here. Unbelievable. So he had to move the king, and Vidit found it.
Yeah,
an excellent move within a few seconds.
Wait a second. Is there this possibility of this strange sequence of pawn g5, and after h takes, you just give up one pawn, But my idea here is to go pawn h5. It is kind of there's something to it, but probably not the greatest way of converting.
That's such a great idea. You want to create a mess, and maybe Nodirbek might do that just to put Vidit under pressure because he has only 53 seconds left.
Ooh, under a minute, that's the game plan. If you're under a minute here, listen, flagging is part of the game. Pawn to g5 after h takes g. You can play pawn h5, and now we can take on
Threat is
g7.
to take here and queen this pawn. Very interesting suggestion here. He plays
G5
it. Go
and b5. Oh my
James.
goodness. He plays it. G5. He takes and h5.
Oh my God, James, what are you doing here? You need to be out there playing.
Yeah, you know what? I'm headed out right there right now. The sub, call in the sub. Okay, h5 and
But
play.
Vidit finds the best defense. I think Vidit plays his best chess when he has less time.
Absolutely. Knight takes g7 is a blunder,
Oh, he's now
apparently.
winning.
Wow,
Check.
he's winning. And
Rook
this was an
check.
idea. I wanted to play this all day. Knight g7.
Played this, which is
Right.
also fine.
Wow. But of course, remember, time is a piece here. And he needs to be very careful with his time.
Yeah, this is actually 29 seconds. Although Vidit now has a great position, I think he cannot hold this together. It's impossible. 28 seconds. He wins another pawn. Somehow Vidit is doing this. What do you think, James?
He did the same thing with Arjun. Like, one thing about his in-game is it's just immaculate. Like, I don't know what in-game books he's reading or doing. Whatever he's doing is just working. He did the same thing with Arjun.
He just believes in never say never. Oh, pushes the pawn.
h7, what a move!
But now Vidit is winning. He doesn't have to worry about this pawn. Just push your own pawn down the board. He finds it.
With
But
no
he has
time.
just 17
He leans
seconds.
back. Yeah, this is going to be a flag city here. He may flag him. He may actually flag him. It is possible. 17 seconds.
Look
Wow,
at
he's
the win
like,
probability meter.
Oh my
88% for Vidit, but it doesn't take into consideration the time. Vidit takes the queen in his hand.
it's like a Zug position, Zugzwang, meaning he can't really move anything.
Oh, the knight
I
is
can't
not
move the
moving.
knight, the
rook is
pawn,
not
the
moving.
rook,
Oh
the
my
king. Can I put an extra piece on the board, or is that illegal?
Man, Vidit is giving us so much excitement there. I don't know how he's managing to stay
Wow,
steady.
he's going to have to sacrifice the knight. Knight takes e6. That's going to suck to play that. And maybe rook check, and no, that doesn't work.
No,
he
it
goes
doesn't.
king g7.
It doesn't at all. In
Unbelievable.
fact, Nodirbek has 3 minutes but cannot find a good move there.
And you know what? The problem is sometimes is when you are trying to flag your opponent, when you just see they have long time, and you just start making moves, which, of course, we all do that. And it's very valid here. But Nodirbek maybe should have used a little bit more time.
But James, this is still completely winning for Nodirbek on time. Because 18 seconds is
To
just
make
not
it
enough. Come
just
on.
not enough time, huh? Well, I do agree, especially, just not having enough time. But the problem is, where do I move right now?
Just move your king.
Just do anything.
Just do
Okay.
anything.
Just do anything.
Put your rook there. Oh,
Just,
no, don't put it
no,
there.
Put it
The
on
bishop-
G2. Please put it on G2. Please, buddy. Please put it on G2.
I can't move. I paid 2 moves, one
Wow.
illegal, one rook blunder. No, okay, it's not so easy.
All right, so maybe king f2, but he pushes the pawn there. I mean, wow. And the problem is when you're thinking, well, Vidit's doing the same thing.
Exactly, and Vidit is gaining in confidence.
There it is. He takes.
He's ready.
We got some moves. Whoa, what is going on?
Wow.
Pieces flying everywhere.
And Vidit now has maybe, let's zoom into the board because he moves the king.
Look at the clock slam there.
5 seconds he has 13 seconds. He takes it. I think this might end in a draw. Perhaps Vidit gets that half a point.
How much time does he have?
Look at this. He has
12 seconds.
12 seconds, but he has 2 extra pawns. You think he'll
11.
hold this?
11
you think
seconds.
he'll hold this?
Oh.
James.
11 seconds. No, I think he's gonna flag. He's gonna flag.
Check. Oh, he brings his rook behind.
Oh my goodness.
He has 11 seconds.
If he doesn't resign, it gets there.
Oh, he's winning. He's totally winning. He could win this. Check. Queens. Oh, he needs to mate now. He cannot lose this. He cannot lose this. With it.
The chaos. The chaos.
Oh my
He's gonna flag. He's gonna flag. him.
No. He can win this.
Okay, yeah, this is sloppy. This is just not gonna happen.
1 second left. Oh, it's a draw. It's a draw.
Oh my goodness! It was so sloppy. That happens when there's no time on the clock. You got to do what you got to do there.
But what a save there by Vidit.
Wow.
Top
what
three
a game.
boards have ended in draws. And we also have a draw on board number 5, which means the action now remains on board number 4 and 6 here. This is an insanely close match, but Nihal Sarin on the Prodigy board is completely winning.
Nihal in a thinking position here. Hand overhead, twirling the hair, just in case. Do not touch anything, he says.
Oh, unbelievable, James. Did you see this? All 5 boards have ended in draws.
What?
So this is the only game going on. Raunak Sadhwani and Nihal Sarin. Whoever wins this takes home the entire match between PBG Alaskan Knights and Upgrad Mumbai Masters.
You know what? They look the same. They've had the same match today. They've won matches. The shirts look kind of the same. I mean, everything's the same. Draws on all boards here. This comes down to this game right here.
And
wow. Let's see the board. There we go.
He brings the queen back here. And, you know, even though Nihal Sarin is an exchange down, he has pawns. Too many pawns here.
One thing about Nihal is that he's very, very accurate and very tactical. This is a scary position to be in. You don't have a lot of moves. Pawn to b7 is coming with a queen on the back right there.
Just queening
yeah,
there.
he's going to queen that pawn, and black is running out of moves.
And you can see the win probability meter shows 100% win for Nihal.
Look at the lean back. The lean back from Nihal.
And the
resignation!
The PBG Alaskan Knights have taken this home thanks to Nihal Sarin's victory on the final Prodigy board.
The PBG Alaskan Knights, I'm telling you, those tricky Knights, they are the best piece on the board right now. They ask, hey, what's the best piece? It's the Knights.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Actually, with its draw there, did not really help his team because Nihal got the job done on the Prodigy board. James, what do you have to say about this youngster? He's just so good.
Yeah, he's just amazing, incredible here. As you see, just the head bump there. Yes, he's pumped up. Nihal made it happen for his team here. Once again, they're playing out of their mind here in this tournament.
Yeah, and there he is going inside the dugout. It would be exciting to see how his team reacts there. They must be thrilled when Nihal Sarin showing his class. And there you have it, guys. The scorecard is over here.
Wow.
Draws on all top 5
down.
boards.
That's
and
crazy.
Nihal Sarin taking that final game. Wow, what a close match. But PBG Alaskan Knights, 3 out of 3 wins for them.
Man, I mean, PBG Alaskan Knights are a force to be reckoned with right now. They are the strongest piece on the board. Those Knights are very, very strong. And then Upgrad Mumbai Masters are right behind them. I mean, look at this. No one's taking down the PBG Alaskan Knights.
Yeah,
and the Upgrad Mumbai Masters were that close to doing it.
In fact, in this particular match, if you think about it, Alina Kashlinskaya was better against Harika.
Right.
She drew. Also, Nodirbek was better against Vidit.
Right.
So even though the margin has been low, the PPG Alaskan Knights still dominated this match.
That is amazing. I mean, PBG Alaskan Knights, whatever they're doing, it's working, and it's been working on every single match here. I mean, their confidence has to be through the roof. But also, Upgrad Mumbai Masters for being so close. I mean, literally, it was a nail-biter match.
No, they really fought. In fact, kudos to Vidit Gujarati. I mean, when you have 17 seconds,
Yeah.
I would mentally just resign the game. But there he was, not giving up at all costs. And now, after this match that we saw, let's head over to the playing hall where we have Tanya waiting for us.
Sagar, our hearts have been racing as well. What a match this was. What a wild day of chess this has been. And it all came down finally to that prodigy board and Nihal Sarin getting it done for the PBG Alaskan Knights. And we've got with us a very special guest. He is the icon, an elite player in the chess world for so many years. French #1, Maxime Vacher-Lagrave here joining us. Maxime, it's been a bittersweet day for you. You guys got the first win against the Ganges Grandmaster, and this match, it could have gone either way. Such a close fight. How are you feeling right now?
I feel like almost every match here can go either way. So like the teams are very similar in strength, and you know it comes down to the heat of the battle, whoever's putting pressure. But you know you can replay this match 10 times, and you'll have very different outcomes every time.
And what's it like? Because we've always felt that of course, on the board, a great icon, but even off it, the team chemistry in the Upgrad Mumbai Masters is spoken about everyone. But what's the feeling like when things don't go your way? How do you recover from that?
We'll figure something out. I mean, this is what we do. And, we've been professional chess players for most of us for, 10, 15, 20 years. And, we just move on because losing is inevitable, but it's how you cope with losing that makes the difference. And yeah, I must say this match, because I made an early draw with Anish, then we were watching the match, and it's quite painful to actually watch the match instead of playing it. Like when you're playing, you look a bit at the action, but you don't have time. You're focused on your own game. But here we were witnessing what was happening, the turnarounds. Like Vidit's game was absolutely crazy in that sense.
Maxime, can you tell us a little bit about what went in your mind while you made that early draw?
I mean, it just my, opening-wise, Anish played a risky line, and, I'm black. I generally don't mind. Of course, if there's more fire on the board, I'm happy with it, but, sometimes you don't get that, and so I had absolutely no reason to try and force things from this position.
Maxime, we've got more questions for you. We want you to stay with us. But right now, we're going to join Jovanka, who's there with the boat player of the match.
Thank you, Tanya. I'm here with Nihal Sarin, the sole winner of that epic match. And to present the boat player of the match award, it is team coach Luc Ranvelli, who is the team coach for the Triveni Continental Kings.
Well, Nihal, congratulations. Player of the match, and give you this present. I don't think you can use it during the game, but good luck. Yeah.
Thank you. And Nihal, well, that was such an epic game.
Thank you.
And how are you feeling, the sole winner of the match? Thanks to you, your team are now on 100%.
It was a very complicated game. I started with quite a nice time advantage, and also I was kind of liking my position, but then I started to think a bit too much, I think. I'm trying to find the best moves maybe, and also all the other boats, it seemed complicated, nothing seemed clear, because the last two matches, it was always like my game was finishing in the later stages, but there was no pressure at all. The other team members had already won some important games, but yeah, this time I saw everywhere it's complicated. I just tried to, and I was low on time, so I just tried to completely focus on my game. And after I got these many pawns, when my pawns started moving, I started to feel that I had some good control despite the time, and then eventually one of them went through.
Mm-hmm. So 3 wins, perfect start for you. How do you feel going into tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a great start. Could not have asked for better, but still 7 more games left, and anything could happen, absolutely, especially like after the last season. You cannot, absolutely anything can happen, so have to stay focused till the very end and hope to continue our good form.
Well, thank you for joining us, and congratulations once more.
Thank you.
The only decisive game of this match in the PVG Alaska Knights was on the Prodigy board. The success engine for them seems to be Nihal Sarin. 3 out of 3 so far with this matchup against Ronak. It really could have gone either way. And we've got some key moments. And Maxime, we'd love it if you can take us through some of the highlights in this game.
Yeah, so this was the moment that everything went on fire. And we were discussing it in the players' room lounge. And I thought you actually should give the pawn, exchange the queens, and use the fact that then you have the open file available for your rook with good drawing chances.
Yeah, and we saw the resignation. Maxime, what goes through your mind when you see your teammates starting to struggle?
I mean, of course, it's always an issue, and before this competition, I was also in the Olympiad, and it's the same feeling. So, but it's also a great joy when you win, and team competitions is not very natural for chess, like a one-on-one competition, but it gives some memorable moments as well. And in defeat or in winning, we have to be gracious, and do our best to come back stronger the next day.
Maxime, you've been a great icon in the previous season, and we're sure you continue to be in this one. Thank you so much. Yes, it didn't go your way in the last round, but you did win the first one. And good luck for tomorrow. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, and we're here to win the whole thing. So
one up from the last time, because you did finish runners-up, so you're looking to make that even better.
Yeah, we have to improve every year.
Those are some great thoughts by Maxime Vacher-Legrave. Thanks so much for joining us, Maxime.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, David.
What a day of chess we've had. That was Maxime Vacher-Legrave with his thoughts on Upgrad Mumbai Masters. They lost the match to the PBG Alaskan Knights, but what an incredible fight this one was, and just one decisive game, David.
Just one decisive game, really high quality chess, just all around the place there, and small margins. We saw Vidit winning position. He would win that every day of the week, but it was all about the clock, and ultimately there was room for that one hero.
Well, we will get in some more final thoughts, but right now we go into a short break. Stay with us as we wrap up day 2 of the Global Chess League.
Come on, guys, hurry up.
अरे सुनना, एक ब्रेक ले लेते हैं.
Guys, I'm telling you, तुम लोगों को सही से ट्रैकिंग नहीं आता. But that's okay, you can learn. रोज का ढक्कन देना. तो ये रेड वाला है, सही वाला देना.
अबे ढक्कन. पहले तो सही पानी पीना.
Manikchand Oxyrich, proudly Indian.
Struggling to master chess? Learn from top coaches and grandmasters and try our world's first AI chess coach, Circle Chess, the chess school for everyone. Join today.
Artificial intelligence raised grandmasters' game. 5C's AI is now transforming diagnostics.
How is iodized salt supposed to be? Should turn blue when starch and lemon juice are added, like Ashirvad.
Also, iodine is good for kids' brain development. Iodine assured Ashirvad salt.
The game you have always loved. Now in a thrilling new avatar, where the best take on the best. Ultimate showdowns. Complex strategies. Undisputed dominance. The world's biggest mind game in a pulsating league format. 6 teams, 36 champions, one unparalleled triumph. Tech Mahindra Global Chess League.
Artificial intelligence raised grandmasters' game. 5C's AI is now transforming diagnostics.
How is iodized salt supposed to be? Should turn blue when starch and lemon juice are added, like Ashirvad.
Also, iodine is good for kids' brain development. Iodine assured Ashirvad salt.
Struggling to master chess? Learn from top coaches and grandmasters and try our world's first AI chess coach, Circle Chess, the chess school for everyone. Join today.
Come on, guys, hurry up.
अरे सुनना, एक ब्रेक ले लेते हैं.
Guys, I'm telling you, तुम लोगों को सही से ट्रैकिंग नहीं आता. But that's okay, you can learn. रोज का ढक्कन देना. तो ये रेड वाला है, सही वाला देना.
अबे ढक्कन. पहले तो सही पानी पीना.
Manikchand Oxyrich, proudly Indian.
How is iodized salt supposed to be? Should turn blue when starch and lemon juice are added, like Ashirvad.
Also, iodine is good for kids' brain development. Iodine assured Ashirvad salt.
Artificial intelligence raised grandmasters' game. 5C's AI is now transforming diagnostics.
Struggling to master chess? Learn from top coaches and grandmasters and try our world's first AI chess coach, Circle Chess, the chess school for everyone. Join today.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been absolutely nuts. We've seen so much drama on the chessboard, and we're going to dive deeper into that. But first, let's take a look at what's gone down on this day 4. 4 incredible matches we've had, starting with the Ganges Grandmasters going down to the Upgrad Mumbai Masters, and then a phenomenal performance by the PBG Alaskan Knights, taking a big win against the American Gambits, but it wasn't the only one. And then we had the Alpine SG Pipers go down to the Triveni Continental Kings, and then the second win for the PBG Alaskan Knights against the Upgrad Mumbai Masters. That's the action that we just witnessed. I've got David still with me, and joining us one more time is James. James, we saw the matches, we saw the drama. The one thing that stood out to me was how big of a role clock played today. We saw Magnus go down because of that. And then in this final match, Upgrad Mumbai Masters, Vidit Gujarati against Norderbek Abdu Satrov. Norderbek was busted in the position, and he just played to flag Vidit and managed to save that one. Going ahead, how much of a role will clock play in team strategy?
Especially after seeing that match, if everyone's watching, you're going to have to just move faster, but that also makes more mistakes. So it's just like a bittersweet kind of thing, or a catch-22. You got to move a little bit faster, but you also may be making more mistakes too as well. And of course, moving so quickly. I mean, you know, you saw pieces flying. It was just crazy and chaos, and that is going to happen as part of the game with that. But you're going to have to move a little bit faster. Look at this. It's crazy. Flag is part of the game, Tanya.
It's part of the game. It's the big name in this one. Norbeck completely losing. And you can see Vidit, David, his palms are sweaty. Shout out to Eminem right there. Not afraid. Queens, but not an oven. Look at that Magnus. What happens here? Why can't the players just call the arbiter? What even is going on here?
Well, the fact is the players could have stopped the clock, especially when we started seeing two hands appear. You're supposed to make the move and press the clock with the same hand when pieces fly. But the problem is the adrenaline is pumping. Nobody has the time, the self-control to zoom out, call the arbiter, and the players ultimately agreeing to that draw. The big difference between this and the Magnus Carlsen game is that Abdu Satrov had no pieces remaining, couldn't legally win the game on the board, so it was a draw. Magnus, however, his opponent had a knight, even though he was winning Magnus, and that was the decisive factor. It's just chaos. The players aren't used to that, we should mention.
I mean, are you not entertained? This is just crazy stuff that we're seeing on the chessboard. We're the best in the world, where the nerves do come to play at the end. And really nicely pointed out there that Norderbek, he won on the clock, but no material to win the game. In this format, is it more important to not think about perhaps the best move, but just make sure you play fast?
Exactly. All of the players, they need to take inspiration from Alireza Firouzja, who he was sneaky about it. He flagged Magnus. It was a bit dirty, but that's what you have to do in team chess. And yeah, you have to sacrifice accuracy for speed. That's the key in this format.
Yeah. And of course, we've got big action coming up tomorrow as well. But what a day of chess it's been. And James, before we dive into what's coming up tomorrow, I want to ask you, what was your one big highlight for today?
Oh, the flagging. 100% flagging.
You love that.
I will flag anyone. I don't care who you are. King, Rook. It's the worst flag. It's dirty. It's gross. But it's a win.
But you still love it, and we still love all the action that's coming in from Global Chess League. It continues tomorrow. You've got the big matchups coming in for you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you tomorrow. It is a goodbye for us. Have a good evening.